Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to recognize different CMLLs from different angles. I'm using my new phone as a camera, so let me know if you prefer this one or the old one. So first, for the H cases, I think these are really easy because all the corners will be the top color will be on the sides. So from any angle, it should be easy enough to see what you have. And same thing goes for the pi cases, since all the corners will be misoriented and you'll be able to find from any angle what you need to do. So now we'll move on to the U cases. This one's a bit harder. From the front angle, how I recognize is based on these two and these two. So in this case, these two are the same, these two are opposite, so I know it's f sexy f prime. From this angle, you just peek left, like that, to see all these four. This angle, you peek right, but from the back, it can be a bit difficult. I guess you can peek like that, but instead of doing that, what we can do is look at these two and this one. So if I see that these two match and this one is opposite, then I know it's f sexy f prime, but I'll just solve it and set up the case. The case that looks similar to that is these two match and these two are opposite. So like, if this one's opposite, if this one's not opposite, that means the opposite ones have to be here. So these are like opposite and these two match. But if this sticker is opposite to this, that means these two have to be opposite. So if I see this one is an adjacent color, that means this has to be opposite to this, which means these two have to match. So then I know to do that. And the same thing applies for the symmetry between the similarity between this case and this one. So if you have them both from the back, you can see that these two, the top two are opposite, but then this one can either be matching or it can be opposite or adjacent. So if it's the same as this one, then you know that these two have to be matching. So you know to do U2 and then that or the other algorithm. But if it's not matching, then what happens is you know these two are green and blue, so it's just that one. And here's the last kind of type of case. It's where like these two aren't the same or opposite. And the way I recognize this one is I peek to the right. So I look and I see if these two match, then I know it's that these two match. So these two match, these two match. So if I see these two match, it's this case. If I see these two don't match, I just do a U2. And I know I have that. For the T cases, this is the same type of case as the U case, where these two are not opposite or the same. So once again, I peek at the right corner, this one. If these two match, then I know I have to do a lefty sexy sledge. So that'll be U prime and sexy sledge. But if these two don't match, then I do a U sexy sledge. I forgot to say this earlier, but obviously for the T cases and the U cases, you're going to be doing the same type of thing. From the front, you can obviously recognize because of these four. From the left, you look at the left. From the right, you look at the right. But from the back is where it gets confusing. So these two cases can look very similar, like these two opposite, these two the same, and these two the same, these two the same. And once again, this recognition is the same as the U cases. If these two are the same and this is opposite to it, that means these two can't match because this one will be the same as this. If these two can't match, then it has to be these two opposite, so like that. And if these two are matching and this one is not opposite, that means these two are both blue, so. And the last type of case from this one is where these two are opposite. So it can either be these two are opposite and these two are the same, or these two are opposite, these two are opposite as well. So how you see that again is the same type of reasoning. You'll get used to this over time, but if these two are opposite and this one is not matching, then this has to match this and that has to match that. So it's this case. Oops. And if these two are opposite and this one is opposite to one of these, then you know that these two match, so you have to do U2. Okay, so here's the L cases. From the front, the way I recognize using these two and these two. From the left, I just peek at the left. From the right, I peek at the right. But from the back, it's kind of a hassle to look like that. So I just learned how to recognize them from the back like this. So the way I do it is with these four stickers. So the first type of case is when these two are opposite. If this one matches that one, then I know that it's just this. And if this one matches that one, so the difference here is between these and those. So if these match, then it's this. This time it's pretty similar to the other one. These two, instead of being opposite, now they match, and now you just have to figure out which commutator it is, the RUD ones. So if these two are opposite, then you do U prime, U prime. So you always want to have the opposite sticker on the right for these cases. So if these two are opposite, you move that to the right and you do this commutator. And if these two are if this one's opposite, then you keep it there and you just do this one. So for the soons, what I do is usually I recognize from the front angle. So I recognize using these four corners. So for normal soon, I see these two are the same and these two are opposite. And for diag soon, I see these two are the same, these two are opposite. And from the left, I just look at the left. From the right, I just peek at the right. From the back, it's kind of a problem once again. So you can see the trend here. So for these two cases, I see that these two are opposite. And the difference is that for the what's it called? The diag soon, these two are the same. For the normal soon, these two are opposite. So opposite same is diag, and opposite opposite is just normal. So here are the next two cases. These ones, these two are always going to be opposite, so that's where they're going to be confusing. And the way you distinguish them is the relationship between these two. So the one that's these two are opposite and these two are opposite, it looks a lot like soon, but it's so these two opposite, those two opposite. It's just that one. And the one where these two are opposite and these two are the same is the sexy sledge case, like that. Here's the last type of student case. This time we have opposites on the right. So the difference, these look really similar. The difference is that this sticker, sometimes it matches this one, sometimes it matches this one. So this case it matches this one, that case it matches that one. And when it matches this one, you do U prime and then this algorithm. And when it matches that one, you do U prime. And it kind of looks like the same thing from the other angle. It's with these two matching. So that's the easy way to remember it, like that. And for the anti-student cases, I do the exact same thing. Like, I'll recognize from this angle and see these two are the same, and then from this angle I have opposites and opposites. So it's the exact same thing as soons, so I'm pretty sure you'll be able to figure that out. Thanks for watching, hopefully this was useful.